Come on into the ditch. I'm your resident ditch witch, Tara Tyne, and we're about to get witchy, whether you like it or not. So you can probably tell by the fact that I'm made up that I'm not meant to be doing any actual work today. I'm on dinner duty, but I've got a slight dose of the FOMO because we have help here today, okay? You probably can tell by the title that we're working on the French drains. That's the big push for this week. And another wee surprise or two along the way as well. But in the meantime, I'm gonna catch you up on what happened during the week. So today's number one on the to-do list is the laying of the mesh for the French drains. Say hi, Dave.
Hiya.
So in the last episode, you saw that our French drains had been dug and they're doing a great job of drawing damp away from the house already, although with the very heavy rain we've had the last few days, they're maybe not as structurally sound as they were before. And thankfully we have some help arriving this weekend. We're due to have Dave's friend, also named Dave. Dave is actually the guitar player and keyboard player with the band Radio Mafia. Excellent stuff. I'll stick a link in the description under this video. So tell us what you're doing there now, Dave.
So we've got our weed-proof membrane. And that has to go the whole way round the French drains. The next job then is to get a small layer of our drainage stone, put that down. Then we have the big roll of perforated pipe there.
Indeed we do.
So that will go down then next. And then more layers of stone. And what that'll do, that'll encourage all the dampness around here just to drain away out into our ditch. And life would be great.
Them ditches are handy things, aren't they, Dave?
Sculpt the ditch.
Sculpt the ditch. I've a weird habit I've noticed in some of the videos, Dave, of repeating back funny things that you say. But I don't think I just do it on camera. I think I do it in real life too. Which I think is one of those weird little communication things you get when you're a couple.
I think it's an Irish thing as well. Like, I've noticed that I'll say stuff twice in the vlogs and I absolutely cringe at.
The things you notice watching yourself back for hours on end in the editing process.
We're sucking diesel now, so we are.
So Dave reckoned this job was going to take about 20 minutes. I thought he was being overly optimistic because Dave has a tendency to underplan for time.
No concept of time whatsoever.
He's not wrong. So I thought it was going to take a lot longer, but actually he's flying there now. He's only been at it for about 10 minutes. His main job at the minute is not forming a mudslide down into any part of the trench. He's struggling with that a wee bit. But you can see his wellies he got. That was his birthday present this year.
I had to step into the drain to clear some of the stones out. Nearly lost my boots. It was half off my foot.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can buy the horse the wellies, but you can't make him wear them.
Are you well?
I saw actually there last night up on Facebook, somebody shared that there's a castle for sale, and then I had people telling me it's not a castle, but sure, most of them aren't castles. It was a Norman tower house, and quite an impressive one at that, but pretty cold and damp looking. And God, you'd need a lot of wind to renovate it, but it had a shield and a gig in it, a very impressive one actually, with 2 braids. And I thought, now there's folklore and heritage and history even today, having a big impact on our lives and our sales pitches. I mean, of course I joked about wanting the castle, but I think one little cottage to renovate is more than enough for now. So, Longford is pretty well known for its ancient trackways on which ancient people made their way through the bogs.
Ancient Dave, such a Dave.
Yeah. Hello Dave, by the way. Thanks for coming to help.
Anytime.
And what the lads are doing today is basically getting the French drains filled. Might have been a bit of a mistake getting them dug a fortnight before we were actually able to fill them. But look it, we're doing everything as we can here in the ditch at the minute. And we weren't to know that it was to be 2 solid weeks of rain as soon as the trenches were dug. It has been great seeing exactly how much of the water is being drawn away by them, but we really need to get some pipe in, special kind of pipe for French drains, and then get our stone in. The stone has been delivered. Great. So the lads are now creating this trackway to run the wheelbarrow round on so that we don't completely destroy the drains. That's a good friend there you have, Dave.
Fucking best in the world, kid.
Come on the town. Right, so I know I'm not meant to be doing any real work, but look at this, down the side of the mobile where the stone's coming from. It's already destroyed. And I'm just thinking now, couple of wee minutes relocating some stone that isn't really any use to us. Make a big difference there. Just shh, don't tell Dave. Considering I only spent the guts of an hour on it, I'm quite pleased with my pathway. Now it's obviously still very mucky, but it's much better than it was before. Lovely local grey limestone there, which is actually the very same stone that I found this fossil in. Do you know, there's me trying to recuperate over the course of a few weeks, trying not to think about ancient history and all that kind of crack. And here there's bloody fossils hanging out in my driveway. Horn coral, apparently. I never was a one for going looking for fossils, but I now have 2 of them, so I guess that's officially a collection. Did I hear it's time for a cuppa?
Yeah, it is indeed.
There must have been serious work done then, was there?
Yeah, there is indeed.
Wait till we just go up here now and have a wee look.
Rome wasn't built in a day, but this will take longer. You working?
Lemon and ginger for me, Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so we can see here the lads have been working very hard. Now they've actually just been laying this in by hand because that 2 to 3 inch stuff is quite awkward, and raking it out or anything like that obviously seemed like it was more hassle than it was worth. So we're putting in a very fine layer of the 2 to 3 inch clean stone on top of the mesh, the weed-proof mesh. Now there's probably going to be several of you out there shouting at the screen that there's a better, different way to do French drains, and I'm not going to argue with you. I am not even actually able to justify why we're doing it the way we are, other than the fact that I basically put Dave in charge of the French drains because we both knew that it was probably going to be him leading up the operation to actually create them. So after watching a heap of tutorials on YouTube and taking advice from some of our Facebook groups, hi everyone and thank you for the tips if you're watching, Dave has basically concocted the plan that suits us best, our resources, the budget that we have, that kind of thing. This is the way he's decided to do it. That is the weed-proof mesh, the 2 to 3 inch stone, perforated piping on top of that, and then he's going to use the wheelbarrow just to fill it up. And I don't know about you, but I kind of like these trackways they've created here. The pallet ways. It gives the place a bit of an ancient sort of twist, you know? I know they wouldn't have been using pallets back in the day to cut across the bog, but I don't know, I'm sure the principle was pretty similar. So meanwhile, my manual labouring is done for today. Not a bad job done for someone who was technically off the clock. And now it's time to get the kitchen cleared and get dinner on. We were half expecting some pheasant down today. One of the neighbours said they were going to throw us down a brace of pheasants, but we're just going to have to make do with some chicken teriyaki today. So I'm going to get to work making that. So while the lads got busy laying down the pipe, and I got busy in the kitchen and was just about to put the chicken on the pan when all of a sudden a mysterious knock came at the door. Some of you have certain adverts on the telly, some of you have certain songs on the radio, some of you have when the first Christmas tree goes up. But my Christmas has just arrived. In the form of... Here you know, it's pheasant time.
We've two in the bag.
So it's gonna be pheasant teriyaki after all.
Here we go.
Yo! So while I'm still preparing teriyaki sauce and assorted salads, I'm gonna leave it to the guys do their hunter-gatherer thing, you know. I'll be in here in the heat drinking me tea. So with the two lads preparing the pheasant, I did a very quick Google search for a pheasant teriyaki recipe, and I'm pleased to say it was amazing. So much so that what you're looking at here is actually the leftovers from the next day's lunch, because we demolished it once it was ready. And so delicious was it that Dave actually felt inspired to go a step further and create these delicious chocolate energy balls. They were unbelievable. Nice one, Dave. So it's now actually Monday and we put in a great weekend of work. I am definitely in need of a little rest because I have a little bit more work that I need to get done later this week. And there is also a chance that I'm gonna have to leave the country in a couple of weeks' time, just for a night or two. Sorry about that, I just had to take a quick phone call. But obviously with having been laid up for basically the past 5 weeks and completely exhausted and unfit to do much, my grooming schedule has taken a bit of a hit. And so with the prospect of me actually having to go places and do peopling, I thought, you know, I deserve a little treat. So I've got my cup of tea. Almost forgot my chocolate energy ball. A brave few of them have somehow managed to survive till Monday, so this was meant to be for when I was soaking my feet. I'm just gonna have to get another one now. I'm gonna stick some cinema therapy onto YouTube. They're a channel I've really been enjoying watching over the last few weeks, and I'm gonna give some badly needed TLC to my taloned feet. So I've got the remnants of a Lush bubble bar from the last time I had a bathtub, which was like 6 years ago. Still smells. I got one of these bad boys. If you don't have one of these for doing your feet, get one. And I've got a set of garden shears, and I think I'm good to go. And just as I'm finishing up and the feet and the pheasants are all taken care of, Dave made a flying visit home and told me there was a surprise inside for me. Oh my god, the windows are here. The windows are here, folks. It's gonna be okay. And also there was one other little thing that arrived earlier this week, and that is a stove. Yeah, it's a bit rusty. Got a little crack in the glass, but that's okay. We've already found a place to get a replacement one, and massive thanks to Simon for bringing that down to us. So we're gonna get that installed. We're hopefully gonna get the windows installed, that is if they fit, and geez, it's gonna be kind of cozy. I also forgot to show you that Dave last week actually started attempting to paint in here. Now with the plaster having been so damp, he said it was actually quite difficult to get the paint on the wall. I think at one point he changed over to just using the brush, because the roller was having none of it. Oh, it's already an improvement. We've got a lot of this brownness on the wall. I don't know if that's damp or what that is, but look, this is all only temporary anyway. We're hoping that maybe next year, if we have the funds and the know-how, we're going to be able to move forward with stripping all this plaster off the walls and properly renovating the stone behind it. If you're planning to renovate or go off-grid, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. It's a free way you can help out this channel and make sure we keep sharing our mistakes so you don't have to make them. I upload most Thursdays and you're not going to want to miss it. And if you'd like to go a step further and become a channel member, hit the join button below to check out the tier options. Thanks to Derek Healy, who recently signed up to 7 level. Until next week, Slán agus beannacht, goodbye and good luck to you. I don't know if I did it right. I don't think I did now, to be honest. Do I have it upside down? So after doing plenty of research, and that's the one I happened to catch on camera. Literally happened to catch that on camera. Yeah, that's what you get now for the lazy man's load.
There's a very yin-yang component to it. Anna craves connection.
Yeah, I definitely
and
did
Elsa
it upside
craves
down.
isolation.